graduate high school, even college, don't know how to do their taxes. True story, right? So we're trying to teach people to be financially literate. So how do I deduct existing lifestyle expenses? Start a home-based business. Okay, again, you just need a couple rules of engagement. Your primary purpose is that you have to say that you're engaging in income or profit. Do not be a scoundrel. All of you should say, yeah, I want to make a profit in this thing. Remember, you're either red, yellow, or green. I'm just green on steroids. It says you are involved in the activity with continuity, which means that you're continuously doing business building activities. You know what I mean? Are you trying once a month? Are you trying every day when you go out of the house? And by the way, this is from the irs.gov. This is not Renita and Scott Brandon. When you go there, this is the rules for a home-based business. We sat next to a gentleman down in Las Vegas that he had worked for the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, for 35 years, and he said he loved it, which I was laughing at. And his wife worked there for 21. Two people that work for the IRS. And they are SPDs with LifeWave. So when people say, is it a scam? Is it a pyramid scheme? I'm like, well, I just sat next to two agents for the IRS, one who worked at the IRS for 35 years and one who worked for 21, who are my friends now and are SPDs, the highest rank in LifeWave. So I don't think it's a scam. Okay? I'm just guessing not. Okay, you guys with me? It's available in 80 countries. That doesn't just happen, by the way, right? You don't just get into 80 countries. It takes 2 to 3, 5 years to get into a country sometimes. Think about the work and diligence and the paperwork needed to get into countries. We're in 80. Okay, this is not like a fly-by-night thing, dudes, you know? So examples of home-based expenses, the mileage. I'm just staying at this nice resort I'm at because every night is a tax deduction for me. I got people coming to the hotel tomorrow morning for meetings. Everybody here in this hotel is going to be signed up when I leave. Watch. $5,200 meal expense. Okay. That's if you're spending $100 a week. Okay. We're spending way more than that this week. $1,200 cell phone bill. Your cell phone's a tax deduction. Your internet's a tax deduction. So even if you're just doing your total existing lifestyle expenses, what you guys were going to do anyway, you were going to drive around town. You were going to eat out once in a while. You have your cell phone and your internet. Am I right? So you have at least $16,772. That's lowballing it, by the way. So what does it actually cost you to launch this business? So Scott tells you your lifestyle expenses were $16,772, but your new cost is $4,150. Because remember, that's what it costs you for your pack, your premium pack, and your auto shipment for the next 12 months. Are you guys with me? Now he goes on there showing you, and I'm not a tax expert, so I can't even talk this very well, so I can't even believe I'm showing you this, but I'm not sure where Scott went. He went somewhere with the boys. So this is, I don't know, what does this mean? Who knows how to read this? Okay, so it talks about the single AGI. What does that mean? Who knows what AGI? Okay, federal taxes. I don't even know what this means. Who can explain this to me? Scott could explain this. Who's on here that can explain this? Anybody? Scott.
AGI is adjusted gross income.
Who said that?
Kyle.
Hey, Scott, sitting down and explain to you real briefly. I found it.
Yeah.
Right there, go. Right there. I don't know what that stuff means.
Yeah, so this is just a kind of a quick example of if you're single and your adjusted gross income is about $30,000 per year, you're paying 12% in federal taxes. So if you're single and you're filing your taxes and you're earning $30,000, you're going to pay about $3,600 in taxes. If you're single and your adjusted gross income is $50,000, you're in a 22% tax bracket. I think this was based off of last year's tax return, 2024. $11,000 is the federal income tax. So looking at the next row there, so it says, like, let's use that example. Say you're single and you're earning $50,000, you're paying $11,000 in taxes. If your annual home-based business expenses are $16,772, and if you scroll up and then you add on your new expenses, so the new expenses would be, your kit, which would be like the premium pack plus $200, monthly subscription. So your total home-based business expenses would be $20,130. Your new expenses are only $4,150, right? So your new expenses with launching this LifeWave business would be $4,150. You're using some lifestyle or existing expenses that are already there, and you're ethically converting them to business expenses. So if you pay $11,000 in taxes over here, you're going to see that you're going to get back on your federal tax return $4,429. If you're earning $50,000 in income and you're single, if you launch this business, you'll get back all of the money you spent launching this business, plus you'll be ahead $279. That's what the green column is there, right? So the more income you make, if you're a W-2 employee and you have good income, launching a home-based business is extremely a smart money move. So the more you make, the smarter it is. So if you're single and you earn $100,000, you're in a 24% tax bracket, you're paying $24,000 per year in federal taxes. Your new expenses are the same, $4,150. That's you're launching your business plus your monthly subscription. You're getting $4,831 back. You spent $4,150, you got back $4,831. So maybe a lot of people on this call are married. So let's say you're married and jointly, you and your wife, you and your husband are earning $100,000, right? Let's say you're earning $200,000. The more income you make as a W-2 employee, the more crucial it is that you understand the Internal Revenue Code and you implement a smart money move like owning and operating a business from your home, from your phone, from your computer, because you're going to receive back not only your new expenses, but you're going to receive back such a incredible tax deduction. So if you're earning $200,000 as a married couple, you're paying $48,000 in federal income tax. Now, again, this is just like a broad, example. And again, everybody on this call, I'm not sure how many people are on this call, I don't have grounds to give you tax advice. This is in generalized terms. But owning and operating any business, not just Lifeway, but any home-based business, is going to be a smart money move, and it's going to save you taxes. So Renita probably went through examples, like mileage on your vehicle, like your internet expense, your cell phone expense, expenses that you already have. And as long as you do two things, that you have an intent to have profit and that you engage in consistent business building activities, then you can ethically write off, expenses that are there. And again, get your tax advisors recommendations, use their guidelines. Renita and I, we talk about with our three boys all the time, get accountable with your own investments and taxes. And so you use a resource like turbotax.com, right? For an example, just one, I'm not promoting that company or whatever, but TurboTax. And really that's what a lot of tax advisors are currently using. They're just walking through the software. It's asking you questions and you're just answering the questions. And so, it's not as hard as you think to file your own taxes. And a lot of times when you go through something like TurboTax, you start entering in, the income that you have for your W-2 and how much federal and state taxes have you already paid. Like every single paycheck, you're withholding taxes. When you have a home-based business, when all these tax deductions are added in, you may get back a lot of the taxes that you paid throughout the year when you're receiving those W-2 income. So this is just an example. And then we've got, I don't know, Renita, can you kind of scroll here? Yeah. So these are just some examples of common and uncommon expenses, vehicle and mileage, home office expense, communications like internet, phone bills, tech services. You can actually even convert assets that you've already purchased. So let's say that you join Lifeway in 2024, but you purchased, an expensive laptop in 2022 or 2021. You can actually convert personal properties like a computer or a laptop, things like that, and convert it to, or let's say you bought an iPhone and you paid for it, it's $1,000, right? You can convert that personal asset to a business asset. And even though you purchased that a year ago, it can be a 2024 tax deduction. So these are questions that you want to ask your tax advisor. And just kind of a list here, again, meals, depending on if those meals are, solely for business, you're going to be able to write off 50 to 100% of the cost of those meals, right? Legal and professional fees, business travel. I love that literally because of this home-based business appeals to and benefits all ages. So like, we're not talking about, like a makeup company where literally, the men that I know aren't wearing makeup, right? So I can't drive somewhere and meet a buddy of mine for dinner and write off that mileage there or any of the meal expense, right? But with Lifeway, I can. They could be an athlete, they could be old, they could be young, they could be a man, they could be a woman, right? They could have a family, they could be single. It doesn't matter, demographics. And so it's such a broad range. But outside of that, all of the differentiating benefits of Lifeway, right? The founder, the inventor is the CEO. Rare. That's very rare, right? It's a 20-year-old company operating debt-free. When I asked David Schmidt what your vision is and what your succession plan is, you know, the company's going to go to $1 billion. You're going to sell it. He said, Scott, this isn't what I do. This is who I am. It's not going to be sold to a research and to an investment group. MLM or direct sell companies that are sold to investment groups immediately stop research and development. Their products are, you know, benefits are reduced. There's no more good products coming down the pipeline. They're looking at profit only. They start cutting commission plans or reducing the network marketing home altogether. But understanding this, what you realize is, and I think we had this kind of a really cool lunch meeting with someone, when you understand the tax benefits of owning a home-based business, depending on how much income you currently have, you might be able to start with something like the advanced pack for $535 or the premium pack for $1750. You could be on a monthly subscription, or you could just log in your account. You could buy 1 or 2 sleeves or 3 sleeves every single month, whatever you need to wear yourself and then to grow your business. And because of all the tax savings, literally you're earning more money in tax savings, or getting your tax, you know, the money that you've withheld in your income every single paycheck, you're getting that back when you file your tax return, more than you even spent on product. And so, you know, you found a way to get LifeWave patches for free because LifeWave decided the distribution model is going to be direct sales. Now, if the distribution model was I had to go to a clinic or I had to go to a health food store to buy these patches, we would still be sharing. We would still be referring every single day because we've seen miracles. We have a miracle inbox. But the fact that LifeWave said, we're going to put this to, you know, how are they going to get the product to the end user? We're going to use direct sales. Because of that, now there's an opportunity for us, right? To earn income, to grow a business, to help others. And it's really amazing. So you want to continue to educate yourself and to learn about the tax benefits of all home-based businesses, but truly not a better business to own and operate from your home than LifeWave. And we're getting awards. The company's getting awards like the fastest growing, the best momentum company in all of direct sales in all of North America, now 2 years in a row, right? All of the world. And then This Is It team creating more millionaires, more people, more enrollments, more rank advancements than any other team. So LifeWave, right? The best company. Really direct sales, I think the best industry to own and operate a business. You can't start up a business with this little of startup or this little of overhead, with no employees, with almost no inventory, with no office space, and generate the potential income, generate the kind of income that's happening here. But then the best company within that industry, LifeWave, the best CEO. I mean, if you're not sure, just listen to David Schmidt a little bit more. I mean, he's truly amazing. And then the best team, This Is It. And then of course, I believe, you know, if you're on our team, I've never met anybody like Vernita. I mean, she's so motivated. She has so much energy. She's extremely knowledgeable health. She's an extremely strong businesswoman. And Vernita and I work together. And so, you know, if you're married and you're a wife on this call, get your husband involved. You're not gonna be able to do this yourself and have the kind of success that you want. Maybe you're not both a promoter. I do some promotion because I love it. Like, I think I was the one who started the conversation at Lululemon. They saw the bag, but I started the conversation. I love it. I love talking about it. I'm going to promote it. I'm not as good as Vernita, but Vernita needs my assistance in following up, in you know, explaining comp plan, in helping people place orders. Like when they get in, I don't want Vernita to sit down and explain how to sign up or submit their order. I say, Vernita, let me handle that call, right? She said, perfect. My husband Scott's going to call you within 3 to 5 minutes. He's going to help you place an order. If you've got some questions, you know, he can definitely answer them too. But Scott's the one who's going to help you. I don't want Vernita doing that because I want her energy level to be utilized right in her wheelhouse where she can promote, right? She can attract. And so if you're married, or if you're not married, you're single, you develop the team, right? So you want to find people that complement you. Not everybody has to be like Stephen Gina Merritt, Mike Hernandez. You've seen some of the people on This Is a Team, like Vernita Brannon. We've talked about this before. You know, LifeWave is going to go to $1 billion with or without you, but you have something special. You have something different, your personality, your skill sets. And if you can find a way to, you know, really get into this business and treat it not like a hobby, but something really serious, this could be life-changing. It will be life-changing for you. We can't make income claims, but your success is based on your skill, your amount of time. And so, yeah, super excited. I could talk about the tax and stuff all the time.
God, we're done. One final thing I want to say is this is easy. So let me just say this really quick. if you got in this business and you're saying things like, this is hard, I don't know what to do. Let me tell you what hard is. I remember when my brother Randy launched his first Little Caesars in Bismarck. So for those of you that know my brother Randy, he has all the Little Caesars, all the Dickey's barbecues, all the edible arrangements, all the big old tires in the state. He's owns bars. He owns like snowmobile businesses, all kinds of businesses. Okay. The guy is literally a business guru. But I remember the very first time they launched Little Caesars, and my mom, Pearl, who you guys all know Pearl, she went to Detroit, Michigan to launch Little Caesars, and she had to live in Detroit. So when you're saying this is hard, you need to reframe your mind and pull yourself together. This is not hard. Okay. If you think clicking on a link and watching a couple videos is hard, I'm not sure if you've ever been in a real business. This is not hard. So when Randy and Lee, I remember when Randy and my mom and dad went to Detroit, my mom would call me every night crying. She's like, Nita, Detroit is so scary. We have to work at the Little Caesars 18 hours a day. We get there in the morning.